Hey, what's up, guys? Shitting again. I don't know. I just wanted to say something. Uh, I saw some Elon Musk videos. Um, he believes that like humanity needs there needs to be more humans on the planet and all these different kind of things. I don't believe in that. I don't think there needs to be more humans. I think there needs to be less humans. I think there needs to be less humans and more like because he's just saying popping out babies and popping out babies, popping out babies mindlessly. But all that's doing is just making things harder. If you just keep on adding all these children to the planet that's not being raised correctly and the parents don't really care. And from what I've seen online, I don't know the guy and I don't want to disrespect anyone, but he doesn't seem to be the most ideal parent. You know, he doesn't really seem to be. I feel like from what I've seen about him, I really like Elon Musk, but he seems to be more logical. He seems to be too logical, too much on the logical side. He doesn't really think about the more like the more like he's so practical. He doesn't think about the non-practical things. You need a balance between both. So I feel like his relationship with Grimes was pretty interesting because they're pretty opposite. Like he's really logical and she's like not logical. He's really like sciencey and just like really just like um just really just more like practical, and she's not really practical, and she's more like spiritual and more like fantasy based, and he's more like robotics, and he's more like earthbound and she's more like spacebound. Like I thought that was like that's a pretty interesting dynamic. But yeah, back to that, I don't really think that like there should be more humans on the planet because we need quality humans. We need humans who are going to embrace themselves, embrace their souls, and be themselves and really just like be something in the world that's impactful and I can like really help the world, you know? We have so many people who are purposeless and soulless and just are not living right, and then they just terrorize everything they see or bring down everything they see. We don't need more of that. We need less of that. We need more people who are going to just be themselves and embrace themselves. We have so many people, like it's a bad ratio to where there's too many humans that are that go with the masses and are afraid of being themselves, to the point where those who are not afraid to be themselves or that want to be themselves are ratioed out by those who don't want to be themselves, right? It's not a good thing. We need less of that. We need less people who are going to just do whatever to others and are too afraid to live life in their purpose. He's talking about wanting a multi-planet species and aliens and all these different kind of things, but you have to understand this. If you want that, we need more quality humans. We can't have less quality humans. We can't just have a shit ton of humans that are just going to destroy everything they don't understand or destroy everything they see. We need people who are going to be more imaginative. Like the thing that's so interesting about Elon is I don't know him, but from the interviews I've seen of him, like he has a really like so many interesting ideas and he's such a genuine dude and everything like this. But the thing he's lacking is imagination and like really just like he doesn't seem to allow himself to really just embrace wonder and embrace the impossible, even though he's doing trying to do things that are impossible, but like it's just lacking in imagination. He seems to be too practical with his advances. He doesn't seem to really just think about these things that are beyond, that can be beyond, and he just he seems more like I have to see it to believe it kind of guy, rather than you know, this can possibly happen, or that can possibly happen, or this or that. That's what I am. Like I realize that, dude, we're in an infinite universe, anything can fucking happen. Anything. Literally anything. Anything. That's why I just let my soul just do its thing and I just imagine things. Why do you think we have all this like fantasy based stuff everywhere? Because that's trying to remind us of what things can actually happen in reality. But you can never do those things if you don't believe in it, if you keep on trying to look for the practical things. You need balance in life, you know? Everything. You need balance in every aspect of life. You know, there's always been this whole debate between like science and religion, or science and spirituality. Now it's more science and spirituality, but it should be a balance between both. You need both. You need both. You need science and you need spirituality. You need both. Not just one. You need both. Both of them. Both of them. Like you see like aliens and these high tech, like fucking ridiculous like spacecrafts or whatever. That's a combination of science and spirituality. Cause science is not gonna get you to fucking do all that fucking shit they're doing. You know, like zooming across the fucking universe like that. You know, it takes spirituality to believe in those things. And then you bring science together to create that and bring that to life. You need both. You need everything. Everything's important. Like that's why like for me, like I just see everything for what it is. Like I don't like be like, oh, this is the good thing or that's the bad thing or this. Sometimes I'm gonna be completely honest, it's just fear. A lot of you guys are just scared. Like it seems like you're scared to embrace things. You have to have like some kind of like superiority complex. My method is correct or your method is wrong or this or that or whatever. Most people say this is right, so that's wrong or this or that, whatever. When I look at things, no one's necessarily wrong and no one's necessarily right. If you guys shut the fuck up and you guys drop the ego and you guys come together, you realize that you guys can do a lot together. So that's something that I just know. You know, you don't have these ideas just for them to be thrown away. You know, it's amazing things, but you can't do everything by yourself. Trust me, I'm someone who I don't want to do everything by myself. The only reason why I do so much by myself is because no one wants to help me. So that's the only reason why I do things by myself. But like I always knew you need cooperation. You need cooperation. You need to open up your mind and be open to expand new concepts and ideas. To be completely honest, Elon Musk, his plans will never work out unless he embraced more spiritual practices. And I'm not saying spiritual practices like worship or like church or not. It's not that. I'm saying more like fantasy based things. Because he's so like on the practical side, that's awesome, everything like that. But he's missing a lot of elements that need to go with that. Just like with some people who are really fantasy based, they're missing some scientific elements that can help you with that. You know, it's really like you have to look at everything for what it is instead of trying to just be take a one-dimensional approach on things. But yeah, I think he's a really interesting guy. He has a lot of really interesting concepts and stuff like that. And honestly, like he keeps talking about how so many times like he doesn't really understand. He doesn't really know like he's I think he says like atheist or something like that, which is awesome. I've never been an atheist, but like believe what you want to believe. I'm not the kind of person to tell you what to believe, so it's awesome if that's what he wants to believe. But he said he looked into like a lot of religious books and stuff like that, and none of them really made sense. And I mean, yeah, it makes sense. It's not supposed to make sense because spirituality is not something that is the collective thing. It's something that you find within yourself. You have to find it yourself. It's not something that is taught in schools or in churches or in books or anything like that. It's something you have to figure out on your own. It's a unique path you find out on your own. And then you could come across people and they can help guide you. You can share things, blah blah blah. But it's not something that's taught like in a practical way. It's something you have to, it's self-discovery. It's self-discovery. Spirituality is self-discovery of yourself. That's pretty much what it is. But yeah, because what, dude, there's nothing really like, at least for us that's exposed to us. There's nothing really in from our history that is available for us that's really all that special. You know, it's all just violence and just ego and all this different kind of things. Like all the positive things are kind of just like thrown away somewhere, because nothing is, everything is always recovered. All information is recovered. And he looks at the earth as like a giant computer. I don't look at the earth as a giant computer. I look at the earth as a person, as a being. It's a domain. I look at it like as a house or like a body. That's how I look at it as. I look at it as a body. It's the planet's house, and they're allowing for us to be in aspects of the house, you know, or certain aspects of the body. We don't have access to every aspect of the body. Just like cells and certain living things in your body doesn't have access to all parts of your body. You know, it's in a certain designated spot. So that's what I look at it as. I just see how everything is living. He doesn't really look at how everything is living. He just sees the more like practical route of things. He doesn't really see the life in the things. I see the life in a lot of these different things. But yeah, Elon Musk is a cool dude though. But you know, no one knows everything. You know, we're all figuring these things out on our, you know, day by day, and that's why it's really important to learn from another and see what everyone else has to say and stuff like that, because you know, you can believe something and then you can see something else and be like, oh, that seems like something I was missing, or that seems like something I was missing, or blah, blah, or whatever. Things can expand upon your idea. You know, there's so many people who have unique, interesting perspectives and ideas and stuff like that. It's really awesome to be able to hear the opinions of others to expand upon your ideas. You know, some people think I'm arrogant for my beliefs and stuff like that. I don't really understand that. I only speak if I know what I'm talking about. I don't speak if I don't know what I'm talking about. And the reason why I know so much is because I listen to people. You know, a lot of people, most humans are so incompetent because they just talk all the fucking time. Like I watch them like argue with me like in YouTube comments and stuff like that. They just want to be heard, or they just want to be right. Like sometimes you gotta be wrong. I was wrong a lot. A lot of people are wrong. You want to be wrong. How can you grow if you're not wrong? How can you grow if you don't make mistakes? You don't know everything. No one can know everything. Knowing everything is you can't know everything in fucking 30 years. You can't know everything in 40, 50 years. How? How's that possible? How can you know everything when this planet itself doesn't know everything about the universe? It doesn't know dick. What you think you know, like the more you know, the less you know. You know, so that's something that bothers me. That's why like humans are so like behind, because they just are too embarrassed to point out the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is that you're not as smart as you think you are. All that school you go to, all this shit you do, your IQ doesn't mean shit to me. None of that shit matters. How successful people say you are, how smart people think you are, all these different things, your Nobel Peace records, your whatever the fuck, it doesn't fucking matter, because there's always new knowledge to know. I don't give a fuck what you knew yesterday. There's still new knowledge to know. If you're alive, there's still new knowledge to know. There's always new knowledge to know. You know, once you stop challenging yourself to know and you start acting like, oh, I know everything. I'm not saying Elon Musk is like that. I'm just talking about people in general. But once you start acting like that, that's what you already fucked up. You're done. You're done. You're done. You're done. Because there's still new knowledge to know. There's always new things to know. You know, if you learned everything in a fucking second about everything, you probably die. You know, because it's just so much to fathom. It's so much that our minds need to slowly process it. It's a lot of things. You know, I love knowledge. I love figuring things out. I love just listening to people. You know, that's why I'm grateful that I'm born in an era, well, with smartphones. You know, there wasn't smartphones when I was a child. Didn't really have internet like that as a child, but like now as a young adult, there's phones and everyone's like just putting so much information on the internet. I can just learn. I don't really like reading, so like people just talk all the time. So I just listen to people talk. It's really interesting because I just like listening to people talk. That's how I grow, from just listening to people talk and then just applying it and seeing how I feel about the things they're saying and seeing if it adds up with my things and how I feel. That's how you become smarter. So many people, like, since I was a teenager, I've been trying to help people grow and help them with their fates and stuff like that, because that's just something I'm just drawn to as an arbiter. I'm just drawn to um, helping people because I don't want to. I want to help people get on the right path since they don't have the right guidance. And a lot of people are really like, shit, I just lost my train of thought. But a lot of people don't really seem to listen all the time because they think they already know. You know, they don't listen if they think they already know these things. And that's a really dangerous thing. If someone's trying to give you advice, it's really important to decide to hear it. A lot of people don't want to listen. You know, I always had to listen to people tell me advice when they really don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And they'll get upset if I don't listen to them. But usually I just listen anyway. I just always just listen to people, even if they're telling me the same shit over and over again 100 times. I just listen to it because that's knowledge that I can take in, that's skills, that's information. Even if it doesn't make sense to me, I can still listen to that opinion and see how I feel about it. And I can learn more about others, other perspectives, how others feel, all these different things. Knowledge is not something that you just have. It's a skill. And you get it from learning perspectives. That's what it is. You just learn. You just listen. You listen or you read. That's usually how people gain perspective and gain knowledge, either from listening to people or from reading things. It's still the same thing. It's just two different ways to consume perspectives. But yeah, you know. So I never try to act like I'm smart. I really don't care. If people come around me trying to act smart, I really don't care. Don't try to act smart and all these different kind of things. Instead, just talk. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to learn from you. I want to learn your perspectives. I want to apply it to my own. I want to absorb your knowledge and make it my own. And you can do the same with me. Exchange, you know. I don't really care if people think I'm not wise or if they do. That's not what I'm here for. I just want to keep growing and learning. And I don't ever limit myself to anything. I'm more fantasy based than I am science based, but I'm just really into science as well because that's something that can help me understand things more, and I can help. You need both. Like I keep saying, you need both to achieve the things that people want to achieve, like these multi-species planets and all these different kind of things. Not multi planet. You know, planets that like you can live on different planets, and then planets with different species. All these different kind of things. You need both. You need spirituality, and you need and you need science. But yeah, that's all I'll say for now. Maybe I'll talk more in the future. I'm gonna go back to pooping. Oh, I can't zoom in. I can't zoom in. I can't zoom out. Oh, that's not fun. I'll just do this. Take care.